Morning Gamecocks, I'm Chloe Findlay.
And I'm Meagan Daukshus. Chloe and I are here every week giving you a recap on the news and happenings on the USC campus and around Columbia. This week, women's basketball is celebrating a national championship win.
And class registration has started, and we'll show you some unique classes you can sign up for.
Plus, the School of Journalism is celebrating 100 years of educating South Carolina students.
We hope to get your weekend started in the right direction. Welcome to Good Morning Gamecocks. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning, Chloe. This is our last show of the semester.
It's a little sad.
Yeah, but we have some exciting topics for y'all today.
Yeah, let's get right into it. So the Gamecocks have been celebrating all week after women's basketball beat Iowa in the national championship, and the festivities aren't over yet. A celebratory parade is happening on Main Street tomorrow.
I'm so excited for this. I'm actually going to be performing in the parade.
No way!
So I'm super excited. If you guys didn't know, I'm in the color guard with the Carolina band. So I got the chance to be invited to go
really
perform.
Cool.
So I'm super excited for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now I think I have to come.
You have to come see me.
I should.
Yeah.
I have to come see you.
I'm super excited.
But the parade's going to go all down Main Street. It starts at 2 p.m. tomorrow, but there's going to be intersecting roads closed starting at 12. So beware of not being able to get through there tomorrow.
That's going to be a lot of roads closed off. We got blocks of Calhoun Street, Richland Street, Laurel Street, Gervais and Sumter, Senate, and pretty much all of downtown Columbia will be blocked off, and a lot of them will not be allowing parking either. So,
I mean, I understand.
Yeah.
You know, our Gamecock women's team deserves a victory parade. I mean, that was
absolutely.
Awesome. That was an awesome win.
That win was awesome. I know everyone on campus was celebrating. We had that 87-75 win on April 7th last Sunday. And the tradition here, we talked about it last show.
We did.
Is to jump into Thomas Cooper Library fountain.
And we did partake.
We did partake.
In that tradition. Both Megan and I did go in the fountain.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
So much fun. I mean, this was my second time getting to do it, and I'm hoping for one more.
Of course,
because who doesn't like a good swim in the fountain?
I know. It was just electric.
Absolutely.
It was just awesome.
Absolutely. And it was packed.
Oh,
everyone was in there diving in.
You couldn't move in that fountain. It's just packed to the brim.
And
really
I love
awesome.
seeing that everyone's coming out to celebrate our women's team. It's amazing.
Our team and Dawn, they deserve it.
Absolutely.
They deserve it.
Absolutely. Yesterday I drove past a sign that said, "Congratulations to Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks."
Yes.
And I love seeing it that everyone's celebrating this. It's not like it's just the university. No. Everyone around this town is celebrating it. Everyone in South Carolina, except Clemson.
Except the upstate. We don't. we don't talk about the orange school here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but incredible time, amazing time. It's well deserved. They're an awesome team. Super fun to watch. 38-0. And I think really get better.
I think they'll come back even stronger next year. We only have Camila Cardoso graduating, so most of our Lady Gamecocks are staying here in Columbia.
Sounds like a recipe for success, but I don't want to jinx anything. You know,
I think it's time for a repeat tour.
Yeah, exactly. Knock on wood. There's no wood over here, but anyway, moving on from sports, let's talk about classes a little bit. We got one more week of classes left, and then we have to start worrying about next semester. So this past week was registration week here at USC, and if you are looking for a few more credits to round out your schedule, you might want to check out some of these, quote, cool classes for the fall of 2024. So I first saw this, USC posted on their Instagram, and I saw they had a link to some of their cool classes. I was like, okay, let me check it out. These are actually pretty cool. So let's go down the line and talk about some of them here. We have, one of them is called Canine Fitness Connection.
That's so fun.
And so you basically go to a local shelter called Final Victory, and you hang out with dogs. You do everything to keep the shelter working.
That's so fun.
So
that's so fun. I mean, I know a lot of people do Doggy Day Out or are part of the organization here on campus, Give a Dog a Bone, which works with local shelters. And I think it's so great that we have a very heavy population in our shelters here in Columbia. And I think it's great because having our students go out and do that for class, it's also like their service. They're doing their service, and they're also taking the class. Yeah. And I mean, who doesn't want to play with puppies?
Exactly. I mean, I get to play with puppies for class credit.
That's crazy.
That's amazing. That's absolutely incredible.
Absolutely a cool class.
Absolutely cool class confirmed.
Yes.
Yes. Another one they have is called Coffee, Tea, and Non-Alcoholic Beverages. Takes students through the history, culture, and origins of various drinks, and also teaches production, distribution, and consumption methods of those beverages. It's a hands-on class. Students learn how to develop a non-alcoholic beverage program, including anything from profit planning to sensory analysis in the School of Hospitality, Retail, and Sports Management new beverage lab.
That's awesome.
That is pretty cool.
I've actually seen the lab. It's right when you go into close-up right by the elevators. If you keep walking through, you can see the little kitchen lab. Super cool. And I've seen people sitting in there taking classes, and I'm always like, what class is it?
That's
It looks
a
fun.
unique thing, you know? I just think that's
cool.
Summertime and your friends come over, you want to be the cool person to make the fun drinks.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? That's just cool.
I think that'll be fun. I think that's really exciting, and I'm in the SPTE school as my minor, so maybe I can snatch a seat in that class.
Maybe Megan will be in the beverage lab next fall.
Probably won't get a spot though.
But that's a cool one too.
Yeah.
Next one, Introduction to Comics Studies. So that's kind of interesting. I know it's said on the thing, if you like Marvel, join this class. But it's a deep dive into the world of comic literature. Teaches students how to analyze comics and discover comic strategy and all that.
I think that's super cool.
So that's really cool
awesome.
too. I'm not a huge comic fan, but I know there's people who are.
Either. I think comics are definitely coming back a little bit too.
Oh yeah.
We're seeing more comic shops pop up around Columbia specifically too. So I think that's super cool.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even cooler.
Even cool. This is definitely the coolest one coming up. Do you want to introduce this one?
Oh my gosh. Scuba diving. You can learn how to scuba and get certified in the Blatt PE Center pool. I just think that's awesome.
Scuba is up there. Like, knowing how to scuba dive is just up there with some of the things that I think you should just know how to do. Like, that's just a cool thing to say. No, that's just a cool thing to say. You know,
like
I can
saying,
scuba dive.
I've gone skydiving before.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that makes sense. It's pretty cool.
It's in the same realm.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool.
I think that's really cool. Imagine meeting a new person and you have to give your fun facts. Instead of going, my favorite color is blue, you could say, I know how to scuba dive.
That's true.
Do you know if they get to go anywhere to scuba dive, or do they just?
I think
they go to the lake up over in Lexington.
Can you even see in there?
I don't know.
I think.
I don't know if I can't remember if I talked to someone that was in that class or I talked to someone who was thinking about taking that class, and they had said that's what they do. Once they're certified, I think they get to go off to different areas.
Well, isn't it when you fly a plane, you need to be trained to not be able to see? Maybe that's part of scuba diving, is
that's possible.
Having to be trained and not be able to see.
If I was under the water and I couldn't see, I would just accept that.
You know, I don't know if I would feel super comfortable doing scuba, but I would do snuba.
What's
That's
that?
like scuba snorkeling. So you're like, you know how a snorkel is just like really short? Snuba, you're attached to it's such a funny name. Snuba you're attached to this 200-foot pipe thing that goes, and you're attached to a boat. So the pipe is attached to a boat.
Is it like what the mermaids use in those mermaid tanks at different places?
When they swim up?
Yes, you know what I'm talking about? But they have the air thing, it's a tube that they can breathe into and then go off.
I guess. I'm not really sure.
It's just an oxygen tube instead of a tank on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess so.
It's like a long hose.
It's like, okay. It's like
it's a hose.
It's the regular snorkel mouthpiece, but the mermaids don't have the snorkel mouthpiece in all the time.
That's true.
It's a really long snorkel. But that's what it is. So you get to explore the ocean, but you're attached to a boat.
I also don't understand. I will never understand snorkeling in general. I've gone snorkeling before. It was so long ago. But I've seen videos of people with the snorkels underneath the water.
See, that doesn't
work. What's the point of that?
Then that defeats the purpose. Because then you breathe in water. That's a problem.
You always see them in those aesthetic videos, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
that doesn't
I know what
look
you're
right.
talking about.
That doesn't look right.
I went snorkeling once. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I
liked
went.
it.
I went once. We did like a sea turtle catamaran during my cruise back in like 8th grade, and it was super cool.
Yep. It's difficult though, especially when there's waves,
Yeah.
because the water does get in the. So I think snuba is a good alternative. I feel like it's the best of both worlds.
Snuba class too.
Maybe there should be a snuba class.
That's pretty
I think we
cool.
should suggest it, and I think our producer should teach it.
I'm scared of the ocean.
I'm scared of the ocean. That's crazy. I could spend hours in the ocean.
Yeah.
On a nice day.
I can like go in, but like thinking about things under the water makes me want to throw up.
Yeah, my biggest thing is jellyfish. There are not turtles.
It's like the like sunken ships. It's like I have like the
Oh.
man-made things under the water. Like I can't.
Okay.
Like,
You're afraid of running into the Titanic, basically.
Pirates.
Okay. Pirates. Underwater sea pirates?
Yeah,
Snuba pirates?
No, thanks. I'm so good.
Snuba pirates. That's funny.
I wonder how long someone could live under the water if they brought oxygen with them.
So I actually was just watching a video the other day.
Literally, how? Okay,
So
I want to hear this.
These two YouTubers, they rented out one of these, like it was like an underground, like underwater Airbnb, and basically, yes, it's in some lake. It was part of an old project, and they turned it into an Airbnb, and you have to scuba dive down to it, and then you kind of scuba dive down and then pop into the like little house that's under the water, and they stayed in it for a night.
That's cool.
And the only thing was they would be fine for 7 days if electricity turned off. So without electricity, they can survive for 7 days in the water. So maybe that's some kind of an answer.
But they're in like a house, Megan. They're not in the water.
Oh, you meant just physically like.
Just physically floating around.
Oh, I feel like your fingers would shrivel up to raisins.
Well, you dehydrate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
salt
I
water
guess so.
too.
I guess you wouldn't last very long.
No.
The house though is cool.
Yeah,
The underwater house is cool.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was like that also was freaking me out.
Really?
It doesn't belong there.
Next
That's
show,
fair.
GMG shoots from an underwater house with the whole crew.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, maybe we'll get a chance. Maybe we can go scuba diving.
Maybe. That would be fun.
It'd be fun. Well, there's so many fun classes here on campus. I know another one is the Taylor Swift one. Really hard to get into.
There's a Taylor Swift
There is a
class?
Taylor Swift class. I think they just kind of analyze what she has done with her concerts because it's in the SBTE, like College of Sport Management.
Yep.
So I'm
gotcha.
assuming that they kind of go over the entertainment side of things, and then I think they do some kind of stuff with her music and her marketing plans and schemes. So
Fun.
super awesome.
Cool.
Also another hard class to get into, but if you get a chance to get into it, so fun. Let me know how it goes, because I've always wanted to take it. It's only open to HRSM majors, though, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
All right, well, add these to your schedule.
Add these to your
schedule. Yeah, super cool. I mean, back to more school.
Mm-hmm.
Our school, specifically what we're enrolled in, the Journalism and Mass Communication School, the J School, it's celebrating their centennial.
Yay!
Yay! Throughout the semester, the J School has been putting on events and celebrations for the 100 years. Chloe and I dove a little deeper into the history. Let's take a look.
This past week, the University of South Carolina School of Journalism and Mass Communications turned 100 years old. At its inception in 1923, the SJMC at Carolina consisted of only 4 rooms, where only 2 were classrooms. I'm standing where the first journalism students here at USC took their classes. Now, this is the McKissick Museum, but it didn't always used to look like this. This rickety old house on the Horseshoe is what the first journalism students here at Carolina called home, and it is safe to say that the school has advanced a lot since then. Janice McDonald, a graduate of the School of Journalism and Mass Communications and now a producer at ABC News, said that the classes she completed at the SJMC were invaluable.
I think that by not taking journalism classes, people who go into journalism kind of don't always truly understand what it is to be a journalist.
But for some, it wasn't the classes, but the professors that made the difference.
My capstone class, my professor, Dr. Habib, was really instrumental in providing me the tools to kind of overcome imposter syndrome and know that I really can do the job that I've been trained to do.
For Lawson Estridge, a graduate from the SJMC with a degree in visual communications and now a multimedia coordinator for the University of South Carolina, coming to the USC School of Journalism and Mass Communications was a no-brainer.
I think it gave me a foot in the door for a lot of opportunity, not only in the state, but also around the country.
The SJMC has already made great strides since 1923, with some of its biggest accomplishments being providing the Adobe Creative Suite to all of its students and building a brand new state-of-the-art journalism building in which all of its students can learn. But the dean of the SJMC, Tom Reichert, says he isn't finished.
I think for the school, they want to make sure that they're investing in emerging technologies and practice, and ensuring that our students know how to work with the latest and greatest.
For SGTV, I'm Chloe Findlay.
So before the journalism school was here, the Gamecock was the newspaper known here on campus. Now changed to as what we know, the Daily Gamecock. It was established in 1908. And in 1913, the editors of the paper were pushing for a journalism school, but due to World War I, it had been pushed away until 1923, where the journalism school was born. In the fall of 1923, 8 students registered for journalism classes.
That's wild. I mean, think about how many students are in the journalism school now, and there were 8. 8 people
only
started
8.
it.
Yeah, only
Wow.
8. And only 13 classes, which I feel like is a lot for only 8 students.
You're right. I would think they would all take the same
Classes.
but
Well,
I don't
the
know.
classes they were taking range from reporting and news writing to advertising and trade writing. So some things we see still now. And Walter William Roose Ball was the first dean of the journalism school. He actually worked for the state newspaper and a newspaper in Charleston before he came to work here, but he resigned to come focus on the journalism school.
how nice.
Yeah, I know. So he taught all of those 13 journalism classes except for one, so technically only 12.
That is commitment.
That's
right
that's a
there.
lot.
That's commitment.
I mean,
Having
it's
your
only
whole
8
schedule.
students, so I guess it's easier.
Yeah. Having your whole schedule with one professor, though.
That
I
sometimes
guess
you like
pros
to
and
change it up.
cons. Yeah, I guess pros and cons.
Yeah. So another well-known dean that I think we definitely all know who came after Ball was James Ryan McKissick.
I know that last name.
Everyone knows McKissick. He's got the McKissick Museum here on the Horseshoe. McKissick, he's also buried here on campus in front of the old library. And I found this interesting quote that one of his students said when he was taking his classes, says, quote, "A student later wrote that the dean sat behind a large desk piled high with papers and talked to his students quietly and with great friendliness through the smoke arising from his favorite white owl tobacco and its cherry wood pipe."
That just sounds so indicative of that time period.
Yeah.
That just makes sense.
It makes sense. I can see him just lounged back teaching class.
Oh yeah. And I mean, look at
Papers
how
stacked
far
up.
look at how far the journalism school has come since then. I mean, we're literally sitting in a whole
Part of the
production
journalism
studio.
school, yeah.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
It's incredible, and I think it's super cool. I never realized that McKissick was actually a dean of the J School.
I didn't either.
I didn't either, and I always knew the name, and I didn't realize there's actually a lot of names around like campus that either taught in the J School or were deans or held some kind of role or position that was like of higher, like on a board or something that we hear all around campuses on street names, building names. So that's pretty cool. A lot of the names coming from the J School. The original J School building was destroyed in 1938 to make room for the McKissick Museum.
Of course.
Then it was moved to
Legree.
Legree College in 1938, and then later
You got it.
it was moved to Maxie's basement. Students called those poorly lit quarters the mole hole,
That's wow.
which is so funny because I think this also kind of reminds me of the classes in the Coliseum where the J School also had classrooms.
This school has moved around quite a bit
A lot.
until we landed here.
Yeah.
Wow.
With the post-war boom of GI Bill, students, the school moved again into the building and lumped together the registrar with the registrar and schools of journalism, retailing an English Bible. Journalism might be called the orphan school of the university, the Gamecock editorialized. So they're moving around. I mean,
They're moving around. And I mean, perhaps I'm slightly biased now, but I think our school, like the facilities, are some of the best on campus. Especially like and looking where we
Absolutely.
came from, I mean, the difference is just,
I mean,
we've advanced so much.
We were everywhere. I mean, if you can go into the different buildings that are still here, one of them being Legree. It's still on the Horseshoe. It's now a residential building.
That's interesting.
Same with the Coliseum. The Coliseum was our old basketball stadium, but it had classrooms underneath. Yeah, it was getting tossed everywhere, and I think that's pretty cool that we finally have our home right behind us. And now we got to celebrate our 100 years, and hopefully we get to stay put there.
Yeah, I think we will. I think we will.
Yeah.
I'm very, we have a little home now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so.
Yeah.
Well, look, when I was doing the package for this video, I was doing like the research and the history of where everything was, and it's just incredible to see that it started so small and so like vagabond, like there was no space, and like and we're here. We're one of the most, revered programs in the country, and we've got beautiful facilities, and I love it. I'm sure you do too.
I love it.
So it's just really cool to see that we're finally like
We have
here.
our place. We're here.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they pushed so hard to get the J School to even come.
Yeah.
I mean, it took more than 10 years after they just asked for one.
Yeah.
They didn't even have classes. They had asked for a whole school, not even one class. They wouldn't give that to them. So
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. Right now, the newly renovated building behind us was originally the Arnold Public School of Health. And then it was renovated for us for the J School. And then around this time, the Kennedy Greenhouse studio was renovated to make way for our beautiful broadcast studio, which we are currently sitting in. Love this
Incredible she
studio.
is, yes.
Incredible. Yeah, so super fun. But that's a little history. But the J School is celebrating the centennial with different things. They're having different events throughout the year. They had a SJMC Centennial Student Celebration.
Yep.
The celebration had refreshments, activities. They had free T-shirts. There was a banner people were signing, and I know that they had like a beautiful balloon arch in the J School. So super cool. And then they also had the gala celebration, which is for alumni to come back to. I believe students were invited. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But they also held that for professors, students, faculty.
Awesome.
Super cool. I'm glad that they are making a big deal of this because they should be.
Yes, embracing our history and looking forward to the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
But moving on, we've talked about school for a while. Let's go back to sports. One of USC's club sports team is raising some extra money in a bit of an unconventional way. The USC men's rugby team launched the Rent a Rugger fundraiser to help cover team expenses. So for $95, you could have a rugby player come clean up your property for up to 5 hours. And if you have a lot of yard work to do, just hire more than one rugger. They say they will, quote, tackle your project.
Honestly, I would so take advantage of this.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a cheap price. It's going to the rugby team. I mean, what better way to have your yard clean?
And they've got some funny puns. They'll tackle your project. That's funny. I'm gonna give it to them. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, if I was not in an apartment building,
you would hire a rugger.
Be calling them up because I hate yard work.
Yeah. But they did the
not
same
the best.
fundraiser. They did the same fundraiser in 2021, and they were able to raise enough money to hire a university-paid coach, so like a real coach for their team.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
we're seeing great things.
I
from
guess
them.
if you need a spring cleaning, go ahead and hire the rugby team.
And go support them.
Yeah.
Go out to one of their games.
It's cool. Rugby's cool. I worked on a Simply Sports episode months ago with the women's rugby team. And I just wanted to, I was standing behind the camera, but I just wanted to get in there. I wanted to play.
It seems kind of rough, though.
It is. It's a
little brutal of a sport.
But it's so fun looking. It's a little brutal, but it just looks so fun.
All I can think about is when Ross in the show Friends played rugby.
I've never seen the show Friends.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
He basically just gets absolutely demolished in rugby.
Oh, poor Ross.
Yeah, poor Ross.
Poor Ross.
But yeah, I think this is awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. Just a cool
Just a
cool
cool
thing.
story,
Just
yeah.
a cool story. heartwarming story for your Saturday.
Yeah.
We hope your Saturday is off to a great start. Stick around after the break to learn about a fun food fact you don't want to miss. So today is Thomas Jefferson's birthday, but you may not know that his favorite food was mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, that's right. The GMG crew went to I Heart Mac and Cheese yesterday to celebrate the mac and cheese that Thomas Jefferson brought here to America.
Yes.
Let's check it out.
You might wonder why we are here. Today is Thomas Jefferson's birthday. Thomas Jefferson brought mac and cheese to America. So when Thomas Jefferson went over to France during the Revolutionary War, he frequently asked for mac and cheese to be made for him because it was like a French delicacy over there. And so when he came back to the States, he was like, I want some of this here. So you can thank Thomas Jefferson for one of the creations like these. Whenever Thomas Jefferson was first in his cabinet meetings, the first 3 specifically, he would bring mac and cheese with him at every cabinet meeting. And so I think we need to have mac and cheese or it's any meeting. I mean,
Maybe we'll invite Thomas Jefferson to home.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll come.
Because maybe it's his birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
He's gotta come.
he's gotta come. He's gotta come. We'll have a cake.
And mac and cheese.
A mac and cheese cake.
So, Kraft Mac and Cheese sells 1 million boxes of mac and cheese a day.
That's a lot. That's a lot of mac and cheese. There's something about like the nostalgia of Kraft box mac and cheese.
Yeah, I remember like
Oh no.
when I was a kid, my mom would make Kraft Mac and Cheese and you'd cut hot dogs and put them.
Here we go. We're back to hot dogs. We can't do a show without Meagan mentioning hot dogs. It just doesn't happen. Okay, Velveeta or Kraft?
Velveeta.
I mean, I like the Velveeta, like the mac and like the cups. But if we're talking to like a box, I think Kraft is the best.
Ooh, but I like the sauce packets.
Kraft Deluxe comes with packets and not powder.
Kraft Deluxe is good.
I should try that.
Yes, that is good.
I've actually had that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the bougie Kraft stuff.
Yeah. Well, 1 million boxes a day, but the record for eating an entire box of Kraft Mac and Cheese is a 1 minute and 2.14 seconds. So,
I honestly can't even fathom that. Eating that
gosh, now. It's like the hot dog eating contest on 4th of July.
Here we go.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize it.
We're back to the hot dog. We cannot get through a full show anymore without Meagan mentioning hot dogs. We always come back to hot dogs. Put her in the hot dog eating contest right next to Joey Chestnut.
I'm driving the hot dog while you're learning.
I think that's it right there.
Well, that's it for us here at I Heard Mac and Cheese. We'll catch you guys back in the studio.
So I know you guys can't taste through the screen, but that mac and cheese was delicious.
It was delicious. I still have my leftovers, and I'm thinking about them right now after rewatching that experience. And I think I'm gonna go eat mine, heat it up right after this because it was fantastic. I'm so glad that they brought mac and cheese. Thomas Jefferson brought mac and cheese to America. Thank you. Actually, I can't remember if we talked about this, how it was a delicacy at first, and then it kind of became just a normal part of our culture.
Yeah, it was like a very fancy thing. But now when you think of mac and cheese, you don't think of fancy.
Mac and cheese, they have it at Thanksgiving, at barbecues.
Yes.
Late night snack.
Yes.
And it's delicious.
It's amazing. It's
so
absolutely
good.
incredible. What a great food segment to end out this semester.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just thinking of it right now. That's all I'm thinking of. It was fantastic. I mean, you can't go wrong with the good mac and cheese and our local business over in West Columbia with the food line, make your own mac and cheese. It was just awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
What an experience.
What an experience. Even more awesome was the owner of the business.
Super nice guy.
Robin Patel. He was amazing. Such a nice guy. Let us film in there. Let us show off the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
And it was delicious.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, I guess this with that.
I guess this is it.
I guess with that.
I guess it's the last show of the semester.
This is the last wrap up. Yeah. Well, we wrap up Good Morning Gamecocks for today, April 13th, 2024. For this semester, be sure to check us out, or be sure to catch us on Good Morning Gamecocks when we come back to campus in the fall. You're not gonna miss that.
No,
you're not gonna
it's
miss
gonna get even better.
Even better.
But in the meantime, be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtv@usc.com. For SGTV, I'm Meagan Daukshus.
And I'm not from Chloe, I am Chloe Findlay. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great weekend, a great summer, forever to thee.